So, how do you work full time and still get things done after work? Is a question that I have pondered a long time for myself because after work, I'm exhausted. And the last thing I want to do is go and do more work. The last thing, it's like, it's funny. I hear that janitors, despite like cleaning for a living, actually usually live, their living spaces are like dirty because if your entire job is cleaning all day, the last thing you want to do when you come home is clean some more because, well, this time you're not getting paid for it. The mentality is the same. How am I supposed to do all this stuff when I'm just exhausted after work? The only thing I want to do after work is just relax and try to squeeze in some enjoyment in the day because work was not particularly fun today. But at the same time, as you do this, as you just go home and relax, you're not really satisfied with your life because you still feel like you could be doing something and you could be doing more. So what's the answer? Should you just rest when you get home? Should you just relax? Or should you get back up and work twice as hard? The answer lies somewhere in the middle. So there are 5 main things to focus on outside of work. These are relationships, recreation, your side hustles, your physical fitness like the gym and stuff, and then your personal care, which is like your hygiene, your mental health, diet, and all that kind of stuff. These are the 5 things in life that you would generally want to be working on. So how do you get started in actually making changes in these 5 areas? Most people, they make New Year's resolutions, but most people fail their New Year's resolutions. It's because they're biting off way more than they can chew. They're starting massive. They're expecting overnight change when that doesn't happen. Overnight change isn't a real thing. The only way it's a real thing is if like you are physically moved from your environment. Like one day you're just walking on the street, the next day you're in prison and you can't access the internet, you can't go on your phone. So what else are you going to do with all your time? You're going to try to do something productive, right? I'm not saying go to prison, but I'm saying for most people, overnight change doesn't exist. And don't pressure yourself to just change immediately overnight, to expect yourself to be mega disciplined, super disciplined. Like the people you see on social media, they're putting on a show. It's not real life. And even if that is their real life, it's probably not as real as you think it is. They purposely play up certain parts of it to make them look more productive and disciplined. Like they only show you the good parts in a sense. So we want to get a lot done, but most people fail their New Year's resolutions because they just expect too much. What you have to do in every aspect is start small. You gotta start small somewhere. And do this for a little bit of each category. Like I'm gonna give you an example of how you can start small in each of these categories. So for the first one is relationships. So what you can do is you can go out to a social event once a week, and that already seems like a lot for some people because once a week is it's a consistent thing, and you have to consistently make the effort to show up. But it's not so bad once you get used to it, and if you're doing like something that you enjoy, like a hobby or something, then it's a lot easier. So what can this be? What can this look like? Like how do you find social events in your area? You just like the way I did it, I just Google Maps like activities to do in my area or something, and then I just checked them all out and I saw which ones I liked and which ones worked for me. So now I go to dance class once a week and it's working well. I like it. And this also blends into like the second part of life, which is like recreation. And if you can mix social life and relationships with recreation, you're gonna have a good time. When you can do things that you enjoy with other people, then it becomes a lot more fun. Generally, what these 2 things boil down to, social life and recreation, is go outside and do stuff. Don't just stay inside all day, and don't just be by yourself because that's not healthy. It's difficult, alright, and you will get a lot of resistance when you try to actually sign up for these things. Parts of you will say you just want to stay home today, or you don't feel like going today. But just trust me, if you just show up anyways and if you go, you're gonna have a good time. So the next aspect is the side hustle. So What you do for the side hustle is you work on a skill. You work on a passion project. You work on passion projects. You work on something that you would actually like to work on, and you have fun with it. Like when you chase the money, you often just don't make the money because people can tell that you're just hungry for the money and you don't actually like what you're doing. The point of a side hustle, the point of like this side project, this passion project, is you do it because you like it and it brings you some sort of fulfillment. So for me, for example, this is my side project, YouTube, creating videos. And it doesn't even matter if these go nowhere, if nobody sees these, or if nothing happens because of this. I'm doing this because it brings me an innate sense of satisfaction. And it helps me to like explain to myself concepts that I understand, but I need to understand deeper if you get that. And the one thing I'll say about this is just keep creating. That's the motto. Just keep creating. Even if you don't think it's good, even if you don't know what to do, even if you're not inspired, just somehow find the motivation to just keep creating. That's the motto. Like as long as you keep creating, you're gonna keep developing that skill and you're gonna get better and better at it. And eventually that could lead into some side hustle that you do, or you could get paid for what you do. But it never has to lead to that. It could just be you're really good at something like if I go to dance class for a year, I'm probably going to be a lot better at dancing than I was before. And that's just a plus in my book. For the gym, for your physical fitness, I would say go to the gym at least 3 times a week. No more than 6. 6 is a little bit excessive in my opinion, but at least 3 times a week. And if you just can't be bothered and it's too much of a leap for you, like the nearest gym is like a 20-minute drive or something, then do some body weight at home or invest in a home gym or something. The idea is that you just want to be exercising and building muscle, specifically building muscle. You want to be lifting heavier weights and building muscle, because cardio is great, but it's good for your heart mostly. It's not really good for burning calories, and it's not really good for losing weight. Like the thing is, my ear's cold, sorry. Lifting weight just builds more muscle, which then leads to a better health. The more muscle you have, the healthier you are generally. And the last thing for personal care, you can do anything, but if you want my opinion, what you should do is cook for yourself a meal at least once a week. Because in general, anything that you cook yourself is healthier than anything you can buy that was already made. So if you cook spaghetti and meatballs at home, it's healthier than the spaghetti and meatballs you get at the restaurant, which is healthier than the frozen prepackaged spaghetti and meatballs that you get at the grocery store. So if you can cook it yourself, you're going to get a lot more nutritional value out of it. And you're also going to be learning a skill, cooking, and developing your skill at that. Work your way up to just cooking for yourself in general, where you eat, the majority of what you eat is something that you cook for yourself and you make it by yourself. That's how you have a healthy diet. You don't just buy stuff and expect. Like, I get meal kits and meal plans and like services that offer prepackaged meals, but in my opinion, you just don't get enough food for it. You have to pay, and you can literally make it 10 times better by yourself for cheaper. All you have to do is just spend a little bit of time food prepping. But as I said, again, start small. Start with once a week. Once a week shouldn't be too hard. And all you have to do is you just make sure that you have food to actually cook. So to reflect, it's not so easy to work on yourself after work, to balance a full-time job while also trying to hustle and improve your life in other areas too. But it is possible. Starting slowly and with a little is the best way for most people. Like, there are some people out there who can just cold turkey quit and completely change their life, but usually I feel like that's more of a factor of environment rather than like them actually just having this instant surge of motivation. Like, it's like the prison analogy I said earlier. If you were in prison, well, you don't have a phone. You can't access the internet. Probably, I don't know about prisons these days. When your environment changes, then it's easy to change, but most people, it's not ideal to move out or to move states or to move countries or whatever, because that's expensive and you can't afford it. Or it's like just not viable. And one last thing to say is, don't be afraid to take an occasional break. But when you do take a break, actually take a break. Don't just like use that as an excuse to cheat on your diet or to just binge instant gratification or whatever. Actually let yourself rest. Go and take an hour nap or something. And go and take a day off, and you're not using your phone at all. You're just letting yourself think, journaling, processing, all that good stuff. So anyways, that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.